WAIR, Talk Radio 1313 on your AM dial, broadcasting live into thin air, from sea to shining sea, and far into the great beyond.
Good evening, one and all, and of course, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the distant ramblings of Clayton Lomax, your lone voice of reason on the tenuous airwaves, here to shed a little unnatural light on all things metaphysical and paranormal. That's right, folks. You heard it straight out of the mouth of madness. This is the one and only broadcast of the bizarre, an honest-to-goodness cryptozoological sideshow, a place where we try to explain that which is categorically unexplainable. Seen a flying saucer? Tell me about it. Need to file a restraining order to keep Sasquatch off your lawn? Let's explore your options. From parallel planes of existence to the pesky poltergeist haunting your attic, Thin Air Radio is ready and willing to blow away the fog surrounding the unknown. From my humble little antenna, perched high atop the rocky summit of Colorado's majestic Continental Divide, I'm usually here, waiting for your call. If you want to talk, I want to listen. Now, before you all start stacking, backing, and racking my UFO hotline, I need to mention that tonight, we've got a very special guest in the studio for a WAIR exclusive interview. Hold your topics for in-depth discussion till our next installment, and lean back with your Bluetooth speaker and a big bowl of buttered popcorn on your lap. With me now is the star of two recent Thin Air episodes, The Parlor Soldier and Alan Edward Norris's classic sci-fi tale, Brightside Crossing. Please welcome the one and only Wild Bill TikTok. How are you, Bill? Welcome to Thin Air Radio.
Thank you, kind sir, for having me on your show. In answer to your first question of the evening, Clayton, I'm just great. Enjoying my little moment in the sun, no pun intended. How about yourself?
Gotta admit, I'm a little bit starstruck. Isn't often we get a bona fide star up here in our little wilderness outpost.
You're out here on the edge of nowhere, I'll say that. If there ever was an alien invasion, you'd be the first to spot 'em coming. Darn good place to broadcast, I reckon. Nary an obstruction to your signal, that's for sure. What made you want to set up shop so far out here in the high country?
If there's ever an alien invasion, I'll see 'em coming.
Ha 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 ha. Had you pegged on that one.
Bill, my friend, I know your time is limited, and you need to get back to voicing your next character. So, let's get this show on the road.
Fair enough. Fire away, bud.
Let's kick things off with the Parlor Soldier, Ezekiel Ambrose. How'd you go about getting the part? And what did you have to do to prepare for such serious subject matter?
As for getting the part, RJ looked me up online, listened to a demo, and asked me to come in and read for Ambrose. Pretty much got the role right then and there. After I read all of Lonsdale's story, I knew I wasn't going to let this one pass me by. Too important. I gotta say, it wasn't an easy read to get through. I think everyone's got to have some strong feelings about that day. I had to wrap my head around the Battle of Bull Run and then turn around and imagine myself at the center of the Capitol insurrection. Hard not to come away from the part with a lot of lingering concerns. You know?
I can only imagine. Quite a story, that's for sure.
RJ's story writing fits nice and neat into your venue, Clayton. He's written about everything from the rise of artificial intelligence to the intricacies of time travel. Parlor Soldier was his first exploration into the shaky ground of current affairs. Judging by the stuff he's got in the works, it won't be the last. It's a good thing, in my view. Sometimes folks need a wake-up call. I think he gets that from his hero.
RJ has a hero, huh? Anyone I would know?
None other than the great Rod Serling, of course, creator of the Twilight Zone. He told me once that thin air is as much a tribute to the man as it is a sounding board for his own wild ideas. Either way, I'm darn proud to be a part of the project. Parlor Soldier was a milestone for the show and a fine example of RJ's potential as a writer.
That's quite a testimonial. You must enjoy working with him as the show's writer and creator. Which brings me to Brightside Crossing, the first Thin Air episode that's not written by Lonsdale. What brought that about?
Well, sir, as I understand it, RJ first read the story years ago, back when he was just knee-high to a sapling. The story is written by Alan Edward Norris and concerns the efforts of a team of explorers who set out to conquer the bright side of planet Mercury, the closest chunk of rock orbiting the sun. Without giving away too much of the story, suffice it to say the trek closely compares to surviving August in Florida.
No doubt. So, you are the main character in this little adventure?
Well, in a way. That is, yes and no. I play two characters in the story, both pivotal. As Baron, an adventure seeker gearing up for a brightside crossing, I sound pretty much like I do here, now. Then, I also play a fellow by the name of Peter Claney, a seasoned explorer who tries, in his own unique style, to talk Baron out of making the crossing. You might say I just sit down at the microphone and talk to myself for the better part of an hour. I hope I'm not harboring a split personality.
Interesting. I don't suppose you brought Mr. Claney here with you tonight?
Well, now, let's see. I think I might hear him knocking around somewhere in the gray matter. Pete? You in there, buddy?
Hey! Wait a minute now. This isn't the bright side at all. Give me a minute for my eyes to adjust to the gloom. How'd we get back on Earth, Baron? This certainly doesn't look like the Red Lion.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. Talk about a game changer.
More like a voice changer.
That's for sure. Hey, Bill, before I let you go, I gotta ask, what's next for you? Any more collaborations in the works with RJ?
Well, now, without giving away too many details, I'm already slated to be in at least one more upcoming episode of Thin Air. He tells me the role is sort of contingent on my being able to speak a little Russian. It'll be a stretch, that's for sure. I'll be starting out from scratch. The show is called Cold Warriors and promises to be quite a thrill ride. I'll close with the tagline, "Следующий ход может стать последним."
I'll just take your word for it. Wild Bill Tech Talk, everybody. Thanks for being on the show, my friend.
Thank you, Clayton, for having me.
Come back and see us anytime.
Will do, bud. Take care.